This video is sponsored by Kempower.
Today, I'm going to talk about the 13 things I love about the Poelstar 3. And by no means is this a perfect car. Far from it. And to prove that, I made a video, 13 things I hate about this car, which is the previous video. I will link that down below. So if you want to see the negatives about this car, go watch that video. But today is all about positive vibes and sharing the 13 things I absolutely love about the Poelstar 3. These seats may not look like much, and in this Microtech finish, I mean, they're not especially luxurious, but the seat comfort, the cushion, the back, the bolstering, yeah, they're just one of the most comfortable seats of any car. These are straight out of Volvo, and the most comfortable for long or short trips. They're pretty amazing. In the driver's seat in the Poelstar 3, I really love the fact that you sit high because you are in an SUV, but at the same time you sit low in the cabin. You have this really nice cockpit feeling. It's not as sporty as something like a Porsche Taycan, obviously, but it is very good for being an SUV. You just have, the dashboard and the car just wrapping around you. You really feel like you're sitting in a cockpit. And then you put your hands on the steering wheel, and then you can rest your elbow here and then here. You have the perfect, the most comfortable elbow to fingertip to steering position for chilling and cruising I've ever experienced in any car. It's great. You have to try it. I was very lucky to go to Jokkmokk in northern Sweden in February this year to test drive a prototype at Poelstar's winter testing proving grounds with head of chassis and driving dynamics Joachim Rydholmen, and got to test drive this on an ice track. And I was so impressed about the steering feel, the feedback, the weighting, and just the communication of the surface and what the car was doing through the rim. And that is even more true on dry roads, on wet roads. It is one of the nicest, most textured steering and naturally feeling of any car. Is it as good as what you find in a Porsche? Well, in some ways it is, in other ways it isn't, but it is so close, and the fact that I'm comparing it, yeah, is a real achievement. And what's even more impressive, once you get going, and I don't know if it is because this specific car has the Bowers & Wilkins sound system with active noise cancellation, either way, it is so quiet and so silent in this cabin. Tire noise, wind noise, suspension noise is all kept to a minimum. Either you're on suburban roads or cruising at 120 kilometers an hour on the motorway. Having a volume knob that also doubles as a jog wheel to skip forwards and backwards for track to control your music, yeah, that is awesome and something I absolutely love in this Poelstar 3. Oh yeah, it's pretty icy. So these frameless exterior mirrors, I think Poelstar had patented this design. They're pretty cool. So normally the glass here moves within the housing, but because they're frameless, the whole housing moves and they just look so cool and sleek. I love these. The Poelstar 3 obviously has a 360 camera, but what's really cool about it is when you get closer to an object, it shows you the distance. That's not new, but when you get even closer, look at that, guys. It actually zooms in automatically for some precision parking. That is pretty cool, and you can get really close.
The Poelstar 3 is a stylish and sporty looking SUV, and in my opinion, it is actually one of the most attractive SUVs out there, especially when you look at the electric offerings. From the profile and from the side, you can see that the low roofline gives it a very wide stance, especially on those large 22-inch performance wheels. And from this angle, it kind of gives a Urus vibe, like a super sport SUV. But unlike the Urus, the design is very clean. You can see from the rear three-quarter where all the lines converge, gives this car a very sleek and clean design, especially when we look at that rear light bar design along with that body colored Poelstar logo. From the front, I really love the dual blade headlight designs, just topping off the look.
And then the last thing, which is really hard to convey on camera because it has to do with how this car feels to drive. So the weighting of the steering, the weighting of the brake pedal, the throttle, the switchgear, just the way the car behaves when you turn the steering wheel, it all feels so positive and good. It just feels like a nice car to drive. And if you really want to know what I'm talking about, go out and test drive one of these to feel it yourself, because it just feels pleasant. It's just a really nice car to drive.
Kempower offers some of the best DC fast chargers in the world with their unique, sleek, and modern load balancing charging satellites. The small satellites translates to spacious and airy charging locations. When you as a user roll up to a Kempower charging station, you don't have to think about connecting to a charger that delivers the correct speed for your car. The Kempower load balancing chargers automatically will allocate the correct power to your car, maximizing the charging speed for the whole site. When connected, Kempower chargers have a QR code you can scan, and this way you can easily monitor your charging session remotely regardless of payment method. This is just super cool. A huge thanks to my friends at Kempower in Finland for sponsoring this video.
So there we go, guys. Those are the 13 things I love about this car. But if you want a full review, or maybe you want to see how far this can go on a full charger battery on the motorway compared to the Porsche Macan EV and the new Audi Q6 E-Tron, I have a triple comparison range test link down below. I also have a full review, a triple comparison video between all of these three cars. So check that video out down below if you want to see how this compares to those new German competitors. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please drop me a thumbs up down below. And for more car content, as always, please subscribe. See you guys later and goodbye.